Starring Gabriel Lavelle, Rachel Sennett, Nicholas Padani, Corinne Brittick, Billy Brick, Kirsty Woodward, Nicholas Braun, McKay Gregg, Taylor Gray, Kaya Gerber, Andrew Clark Feldman, Tommy Dewey, in the role of John Belushi, Matt Wood, in the role of Jane Curtin, Kim Majora, in the role of Dan Aykroyd, Dylan O'Brien, in the role of Lorraine Newman, Emily Byrne, in the role of Garrett Morris, Lamorne Morris, in the role of Gilda Radner, Ella Hunt, in the role of Chevy Chase, Corey Michael Smith, with J.K. Simmons, Willem Dafoe, and your director, Jason Reitman. And now here's your host, Cameron Bailey.
Wow. All right, this is the biggest we've ever had. Is Jason even here? Jason, where are you? Oh, thank you, man.
First I'm not a Canadian, then I don't exist.
Where people are coming from. This is insane. Thank you all for being here for this incredible screening of Saturday night. And we've got a ton of incredible talent on stage. This must have been what it felt like at the end of the first show, right? When the music kicks up and everybody's out hugging. Jason, let's start by just hearing from you about putting this cast together to tell this incredible, iconic story.
When I told people the idea, they would always go, "Oh, that's a good idea. How the fuck are you going to cast that?" And fortunately, we had John Papsadera, who's an extraordinary casting director. He does all of Chris Nolan's films. He did my dad's films. I've worked with him for the last decade, and he introduced me to a lot of you. And for the ones I already knew, he introduced me to a whole new side of you.
For a lot of people, Lorne Michaels remains an enigma. In making this film, did you get any new insights into this remarkable person?
Yeah, but mostly from the people around him. And what I heard about actually reminded me a lot of being a film director, which is someone who has a vision, who wants to do something, and it's almost impossible to articulate that idea until you can actually see it on the screen. And every time I heard about him trying to describe SNL to people while he was trying to create it, it reminded me, oh, that's what it's like to be a movie director.
I want to hear from the cast. Not sure how we're going to do this. But what I'm curious about is, we know these people on screen so well, right? Some of them have gone on to great movie careers, but all of them are really embedded in our minds in a lot of ways. So how do you go from simple impersonation, which SNL always did so well, to actual characterization? What was the detail that actually took you to the next level of how to portray these characters? Who wants to start?
How about in the role of John Belushi, Matt Wood?
Picked the wrong fucking place to stand. I don't know. It's a great character. It's an amazing script that Jason and Gil gave us, and it's the best cast anybody could ask for. I don't know. We watch these brilliant, beautiful, ferocious people walk, move, talk, and put our love into it, and hopefully we came out with something enjoyable for everybody. Thank you so much.
We should Chevy next.
Oh, wow. This is going to be a while. Simply because of my answer. No, Chevy Chase, all of these guys, you know, this is before they were legends, before they were famous, and it was really important for us to identify the parts of them that maybe you didn't know yet. They were closer to, you know, where we've been, you know, terrified of doing something so daring, so bold, so risky, so audacious that Jason wanted to do. You know, so they're vulnerable, they're nervous, they're intrepid artists, and so we were just trying to capture them before the world met them. And I think that was what Jason really wanted us to do, you know, claim their essence before they were superstars.
Great freshness. Who's been on stars? All right, so who's got a story of playing one of the SNL cast members where you met that person as a part of the... Oh, there we go. Wow, this is obvious.
I met Garrett Morris. I had the opportunity to Zoom with him a few times, but I actually presented him an award at the ABFF. And myself and Leslie Jones, we went up there and we honored Garrett, and this old dude gets on stage and tells everyone that he is my father. He's still sharp, he's still funny. He told me a million stories at the time back then. I realized that my journey mirrored his journey in a lot of ways. A lot of times I'm the only black dude in the show, in the thing, and for him it was the exact same. And I told him what Jason planned on doing with the script, with this movie, and he said, that's great. He goes, it's spot on. All I want you to know is I never gave up, and I want the audience to know that I never gave up. I tried my best. And so, hopefully he saw it. Well, you said he saw it. Yeah. Hopefully he was crying. All right. There's always New Girl reruns.
I didn't meet Billy Crystal, but I want to. No, I mean, creating a character who, you know, we see him at this moment in his life where he still clings to that rejection. Jason went through the entire, like all of the people who were there that Saturday night, and he said, do you have the opening script? Do you have the first episode script? Do you? And Billy Crystal said, yeah, I do. And this is where I was supposed to come in. And he like clings to it. And it's amazing to think, you know, that we all on this stage go through rejection. Everyone goes through rejection, and you know, the thing of I never gave up, and you know, none of these people gave up, and they all kept going with their careers and their voices, and I think this movie does a brilliant job of conveying that.
We saw you in the Fablemans a couple years ago. Terrific work there. And playing Lorne, where the camera is following you and on you pretty much the whole movie. That's a lot. That's a big ask for you, and a character, as I said, that I think a lot of people still think of as an enigma. So what was the way in for you?
Well, I think what Jason spoke about briefly is Lorne is a young man in this film, and he has a vision, one that him and an entire generation of artists share, but they haven't been seeing it on television, and he believes in it so much and has spent his entire life trying to make something, and he believes in it with all his heart. And I think we just wanted to catch that love that we all have when we make something. But whatever it was that happened was just a testament to Jason. All of us were in our heads, we were nervous, we had a lot to do and a lot of ground to cover, and Jason calmed us the fuck down. And he told us to chill and don't worry and have fun, and he gave us so much love and confidence that we were like, yeah, okay, no, we can do this and it won't be that bad. And and
It won't be that bad.
I think just Jason was a brilliant leader, and he made us love each other, And yeah, it's an honor to be in this film. So, thanks, Jason.
Thank you. Listen, I have this incredible group of talented people on stage. I got like 3 more Q&As worth of people, so we can't, go one by one down the line. But who's got? All right. How much time do you all have? Who's got a great story about Jason directing you?
Oh, God.
Rachel does.
Okay, so my first day on set, I was doing my curtain rock pole, and I'm kind of like maneuvering it through the poles, and I'm afraid to hit the thing, whatever. Jason before was like, you're friends with everybody, like, feel free to shout stuff out, say stuff to people, whatever. I'm like, totally, I got this. I talk through the entire take. I'm like, nice shirt, love your shoes. Hey, we're doing SNL in 1 minute. And Jason's like, cut, awesome. And then was just like, relax into it. Like, he really helped us find the balance of, we have this frenetic energy of leading up to the show, but also we have to live and breathe in the moments like real people. And yeah, and then from then on, I was amazing. But just my first take was a little rough.
As you all were. Can we hear from Milton Berle for a second? Is that possible?
I just play a jaded old fart that's surrounded by young brilliance and either can't see it or can't admit it. And it was intimidating as hell, and Jason is, I think I can honestly say, the only person on the planet that I would have taken on a challenge like this for. And which sounds ridiculous because I'm in the movie for like 3 minutes, but it was very intimidating. But being on the set with all these incredibly talented and eager and idealistic and passionate and funny and wonderful young actors, even as briefly as I was. Oh, and the guy on my right. Was a pleasure and an honor. Thank you very much, Ken.
Well, let's hear from Willem, Brandon man.
What's to say? It was a real pleasure. I just saw the movie right now, and yeah, I'm still wow. It was a lot of fun the way we shot it, and the character was interesting. Because the guy's a company man, he's all about the bottom line. But you can see that he kind of wants them to succeed and kind of doesn't want them to succeed. So that back and forth is kind of interesting. So. There's a cool dilemma. We were shooting a cool way. Everybody was great. There was beautiful energy on set. Like that.
Yeah. So the first day that Willem Dafoe joins us, Willem comes and sits in the audience in the SNL building. He's not shooting that day, but he's just hanging. And I thought he'd hang for 5 minutes, but he starts hanging for hours. And every young actor on the cast keeps coming up to me and goes, he's still watching us. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do right now. He's still watching us.
Have you ever been living on the outskirts of Atlanta?
And then at the end of the day, Willem comes to me and he goes, you know what I like about your movie? No edge of frame. I don't know what the fuck you're shooting.
There's a great piece in the movie that I think is very much looking back with some real clearer vision on what SNL was like back then, including the fact that it was very much a boys' club, for the most part, right? And you've got Lorraine Newman, you've got Gilda Radner, you've got these incredible women who were trying to just even be heard and get their skits out there and that kind of thing. I'm curious for the women who played the original SNL cast women, if there's anything that you'd like to say about playing women in the 1970s from the vantage point of 2024 and just what that meant.
I'm a Brit and I didn't grow up watching SNL, so these women were new to me. And what was such a delightful discovery was realizing all of the actresses and comedians that I had grown up idealizing were impacted and influenced by these women. And that at this moment in time, there were so many men involved in making this show that didn't think that they should even be there. So just the courage that it took to stand in that space, let alone be subversive in it, is so extraordinary to me. And then to get to objectify the delightful Dylan O'Brien. I think maybe that was some of the most fun I've ever had shooting in my life.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely that feeling of, I think a lot of actors are quite self-conscious and you have imposter syndrome and stuff like that. I mean, not just actors, I think everybody, hopefully. I do. But I think like that moment of when it's your chance in a sketch with your friends and I'm like pretending to hump Dylan, it's like, here I am, this is my moment. And I think that's great, and it's a very universal thing of being a performer, I think, of being a bit overwhelmed being yourself, but as soon as you get the chance to be a character and be with people and perform, that's when you shine.
Absolutely. And I was able to talk to Jane, before filming this, and the one thing that she said she really wanted me to portray was that she had fun. She was like, please make sure that, everyone knows that I had fun. And I think there is, clearly, I think we did a really good job of showing that. Like, we had a lot of fun. Thanks for letting us have so much fun on this set.
I remember when I first discovered SNL, probably everybody has their own story of first discovering SNL when you're finally old enough to stay up past when your parents go to bed and you can watch it from 11:30. And in addition to the great comedy and the stuff that was just outrageous, there was the music, right? The musical acts that were on, the stage band. In this case, you got Billy Preston. Can you talk a little bit about that role in the movie?
Absolutely. We had obviously the brilliant John Batiste, both as Billy Preston and also composing the music for the film. And John, John is, John's touched by God. He's a musician like no one I've ever met in my life. Where I remember I went to see him and I was like, "Have you worked on the song at all?" And he's like, "I think I know it." And he just played it perfectly. And we started talking about how to do the score, and he had this brilliant idea, which was to record it live on set. And this is something that we did that I haven't heard of before, where every day at Rap that he was shooting, he would go get in street clothes, come back with the band, and then our editors, Nathan Roloff and Shane Reed, who are here tonight, would present John rough edits on a laptop, and then he would just go over to his band, having just watched a scene, and go, "Okay, start on an A, you're gonna go to a G, go to a G, go to a B flat, back to the A, and you with the shaker, I want you to go," and he just started to improvise ideas, and then would compose a piece, and in real time. And the funny thing, everyone would hang. Like, everyone just rapped, but they would hang till 11 o'clock at night after rap, cast and crew. I've never had this before. I'm just gonna sit there and watch him work. And the score in the movie that you just heard is something that he came up with live, and we recorded live, actually on 8H.
Now, over the time left, I want to ask you just a little bit about orchestrating this movie. The camera's constantly in movement. You've got a massive cast. You've got pages of script, lots of different things going on. How did you do all of that?
It honestly started all the way back with Gil when we were writing. We had this true detective murder board of where every character in the film was at all times. So if you think about it, it's not a movie with 80 scenes, it's one 90-minute scene. And we needed to know every character, every prop, every llama, where they were for 90 minutes, because anytime someone walks into a hallway or walks into a room, you need to know who's there and what everyone's doing. There were, we would mic almost all of them every single day. There's a day where Steve Morrow, our mixer, was recording 58 audio tracks simultaneously. He had to bring a second mixing board just to keep track of everyone. And Eric, Eric Steelberg and I have known each other since we were 15 years old. the first movie we ever worked on, we had to be dropped off. And I've worked with him on every single thing since, and this is unlike anything we've ever done because the camera is a character. The camera is you walking through. We wanted you to feel as though you got dropped into 8H. And you're looking left, you're looking right, you're just catching things at the last moment. And that if you watch the second or third time, you realize that there's character work happening 2, 3, 4 layers deep. You can watch Andrew as Neil on his journey with the keys. He literally is trying to get the keys to Lorne.
Really
I
make
don't
it
really
into
do look.
I haven't gotten to talk to you about the keys. We can talk about it after. They really didn't make it into the movie, Jason.
You just have to look deeper, Andrew. They are there, I promise. But Eric and I shot the whole movie twice. We shot it once with stand-ins and prep, and then we got to the shoot, and on this 2-story set that Jessica Entre built, which was the entire 8th and 9th floor of Rockefeller Center rebuilt. Again, built with all the lighting built in, all the cables built in, mics built in, so that Eric could move the camera upstairs everywhere, and you know.
It's an incredible achievement. And look, I think if you watch SNL and you know where it got to and all of the great stars it produced, to see that birth moment, that kind of big bang of SNL is really phenomenal. Jason, I want to thank you for bringing it to Toronto, and as a Canadian, I want to thank you for bringing it. And I want to thank, I'm just going to say, the cast of Saturday Night. Thank you all so much.